Hey guys, it's been a while since I've recorded a video. I haven't even posted the last one that I recorded as of yet. Of course, by the time you guys see this, I will have posted it, but at this point, it's the last day of November. It's November 30th of 2016, and the last video you guys will have seen by the time I upload this one will be when I was about, I don't even remember what week of pregnancy I was in. I just know I was still in my first trimester. And as I told you guys, I've been having issues, of course, with my appetite and all that kind of stuff. I don't even remember all of what I told you guys, so I'll try and give you like a general synopsis of what's been going on and why I've been MIA and all that. In the first place, there's been a lot of moving around. There's been further issues with my appetite. Like I said, this pregnancy, just like my first one, it's definitely done a number on me, and it's just been extremely difficult to gain weight. The morning sickness in the first trimester was awful. I was able to keep food down, but I just couldn't eat much of it because the nausea and my gag reflex was just so bad. I tried to stave off on the Zofran and all that kind of stuff as much as I could, but it just got to the point, okay, I need to eat or me and this baby aren't going to make it very far. So I caved and I finally said, okay, I'll take the Zofran again, and it got somewhat better at about 10, 11, 12 weeks along. And it's gotten better as far as that goes, but it is still somewhat of a struggle for me to pack on the pounds. Like I think I mentioned in the first video, I was 99 pounds when I found out I was pregnant, and I got down, the lowest I've gotten down so far was down to 92. So that was not at all how I wanted that to go, but you know what they say, the first trimester is usually the hardest, and especially as far as gaining weight, just because of all the hormones and everything, and the way that compiled with my stomach condition, which I mentioned and talked about in other videos, but in case you're new to the channel, I have a stomach condition called cyclic vomiting syndrome, and that it pretty much speaks for itself. It's like nausea and or vomiting that comes in recurrent cycles, and the best plan of action for it is prevention. As soon as you start feeling the symptoms, you have to treat it right then. You can't just, maybe it won't be so bad, maybe it'll just go away. There's no maybes when it comes to CVS. You can't treat it like that. I tried very hard to in the first few weeks, because there have been controversial studies done on the effects of Zofran being taken during pregnancy, especially during early pregnancy, and just all kinds of things that could go wrong. And then there have been studies that say that those initial studies weren't necessarily reliable, or whatever the case may be. You have your half that's for it and your half that's against it. And my midwife that I was seeing at the time said she thought it was fine, so she went ahead and did that. I was on promethazine for a little while. That's another antiemetic, and that helped to a certain extent, but really promethazine only kind of makes you sleepy. It just makes you so tired, and it does suppress your gag and or cough reflex, because I remember when I was younger, like 10 or 11, I had a really, really bad like cold or flu or something, and I just couldn't shake the cough, and they gave me promethazine in syrup form, and it definitely helped with that, but it also made me extremely sleepy then too. But that helped. I'm on Zantac for like any kind of reflux, and if any of you have been pregnant before, during pregnancy, heartburn is a major pain, and can definitely contribute to not wanting to eat a whole lot. Plus, just with your organs rearranging and everything like that as the baby grows, it's harder to fit more food in, especially all in one sitting, so you have to space the meals out, which isn't that big of an adjustment for me because I've been doing it anyway, as a part of trying to work around the CVS. But it's just, they use that as sort of a solution, so to speak, to the issue of feeling bloated and sick and having that acid reflux and everything like that, when really it's not so much of a solution for me because I'm already doing it. So that's kind of, it's a little discouraging, but I'm just trying to give you guys an all-over update. Just trying to think. I just got back today from my cardiologist. For all of those of you who may not be well versed in medical terminology, cardiologist is a heart doctor, although I'm sure most people know that. Anyway, issues with my heart being that I have like really rapid heart rate at just random times of the day. Like I could literally be just laying here like this, not having done anything strenuous, like nothing, and my heart rate will just, it feels like it's pounding through my whole body, or it just feels like it's racing, or it'll skip a beat, or just different things like that, and occasionally I get chest pain with it. This is something that I had even before I was pregnant, but it was never to the extent that it is during a pregnancy for me. I had worsening symptoms of it when I was pregnant with my first son, and I have very bad symptoms of it, like the symptoms have worsened now with my second pregnancy. Not totally sure why. I mean, our hearts do work harder during pregnancy, and we are pumping 50% more blood than we normally do through our bodies. We're working for two people. Our kidneys are working overtime, cleaning out our system, not just for ourselves, but for the baby. Our whole bodies are just working so much harder during pregnancy. And, I mean, me being in the shape that I'm in right now, I marvel at women that can just get up and they go to the gym and they, eat 3 to 5 meals a day, and they feel great. Not to say they don't have a backache here and there, they don't have heartburn and all this and that, but they just have this energy to just go and go and go. And literally for me to walk 1 or 2 blocks down the road, I'm like panting like I've just run a marathon. And for someone who used to walk 45 minutes to work and 45 minutes home from work at least 3 days out of the week, like on top of, just doing normal things around the house, vacuuming, dishes, laundry, cleaning the bathroom, going out and running errands, going to the store, carrying in groceries, just normal things, plus just all the daily ins and outs of taking care of a 3-year-old. It, for someone that's used to all that, to have to go back down to this. And I'm not complaining as far as, like, how can I put it? I don't want to sound like all I'm doing is complaining. Like, you couldn't tell from the look on my face, but I really am ecstatic about having another baby. My husband and I were actually a little concerned there for a minute because we had been trying for a couple months and nothing had happened. And, we were just concerned that maybe we had an issue in that area. And so when we finally found out that we were expecting again, like, I was so ecstatic, and I think I talked about that in the first video too. I wouldn't trade this for the world. I wouldn't trade this little baby for the world. I mean, yes, I miss being able to get up and have my energy and go and do what I'm used to doing. But it's just, it's the price that you pay. Not everyone has that easy, glowing, yoga pose doing, Pilates doing pregnancy that, we'd all hope and love to have, but, and my pregnancy isn't the typical one, so to speak, in the way that, women are usually so worried about, oh my gosh, how am I going to lose the baby weight? How's this going to happen? I don't want to get all these stretch marks and this and that. Mine is, God, I hope I gain a pound this month. Like, that's where I'm at. And it's tough because it's like, I know how low my weight has gone. Like, the lowest that I've been has been, during this pregnancy, has been 92 pounds. And you guys remember my highest weight during my weight gain journey videos. It was like 111, 113. I mean, I was emotional on my wedding day when I stepped on the scale and I saw that I had dropped from that down to 107, when I wanted to be at least 120 on my wedding day. But now to be pregnant and to know what it's like to be at a higher weight and feel more comfortable in my own skin, and now I'm right back down to 92. That's bad enough. But then my primary worry, like, I know my body will be okay at 92 pounds, but my primary concern is the baby getting everything they need? Is the baby growing the way they're supposed to be? I mean, so far everything looks good, and I've had a few ultrasounds because I was like super early when I went in for my first prenatal appointment. I was like 5 weeks and 4 days or something like that. Like, it was so early that the ultrasound machine couldn't even pick up the heartbeat yet because the baby was still so small. So they brought me in a week later, and sure enough, they picked up on the heart rate. Good old healthy 160 beats a minute. And, so I've had plenty of ultrasounds, and they've measured the baby multiple times, and they say everything looks good. My fundal measurement, which is where they measure you from your pubic bone to the top of your uterus, that's lining up so far with how big I should be for this, being this far along. At this point, I am 16 weeks and 2 days pregnant, or in other words, I'm 4 months along. So I am technically out of that first trimester, but it's still just the fatigue and the exhaustion, it's wiping me out completely. I've been on leave from work for a while now. It's been at least, I would say, a month and a half since I've been to work. There's been a lot of resting, a lot of staying in bed. Like, even right now, I'm too tired to even sit up and give you guys, like, a proper video. Hence the just laying down under the covers and talking to you guys. But, it's just, I just wanted to update you guys. And if there's any of you out there who are pregnant right now, whether or not you're on a weight gain journey or a weight loss journey, at this point, I guess my demographic is just reaching out to people who are having difficult pregnancies, because, we think of it as this joyous, momentous occasion where we should just be all smiles and happy, and of course we are, at the fact that we're going to be, we've brought new life into the world, but it's just that 9-month stretch that's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Like, it's been to the point where I've been so weak and tired, my husband has had to carry me to the bathroom. Or he's had to, he's been the main one who's been preparing meals and all that kind of stuff. And, I appreciate him so much, and I don't know how I could have done this without him. But it's also just like, this is our first year of marriage. This wasn't me being so tired that I can't even, like, cook for my husband. Not just, hey, what the heck with it. If I sound like old-time 1940s, 1950s wanting to cook for my husband, whatever. But for me to not be able to do that, and just a number of other things that I just can't do like I could before I was pregnant, it's so many mixed emotions, because it's like, of course, I know I'm doing something important by bringing new life into this world, by bringing a new member of the family, into this world. and I love him. It is a he, by the way. We're having a boy. I love him so much already, but it's just like, then there's this other side of me that feels like, gosh, I feel so useless. Like, I can barely leave my room. We're living back with my mom at this point, my mom and my grandma, and they've been a huge help because they entertain my 3, almost 4-year-old, like, a huge part of the day, every day. And, I mean, I don't know, not so much what I would do without that, but what he would do. Like, I know honestly, my camp out site would just shift, probably. I'd just be, like, laying on the couch like this, and of course, I would have to force myself to get up and, fix him meals and do all this and that, but the fact that I have people here, I have a support system here, that, I know my son's gonna be fed. I don't have to think, oh my god, how am I gonna get up to go make him breakfast in the morning? I know that that's covered. So that's a huge weight off of me, and I know I can hear him from upstairs, and he laughs, and he's having so much fun down there with my mom, and it just, that's a huge weight off of me, as opposed to him just having to sit there and watch cartoons with me just laying there on the couch, and him just having to watch his mother lay there and try to force food down. I do try to still go downstairs and set up camp on the couch in as much as possible, but the problem with that is it's kind of far from either one of the bathrooms, so if I have to make a really fast bathroom run, it's an issue. It's just like the other day I was having really bad stomach pains and having a lot of issues with constipation. TMI, I know, but hey, we're talking about pregnancy here, so let's just get into all the ailments. But I had such a hard time with constipation, and my stomach hurt so bad. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like when I'm pregnant, my intestines must get pushed to my back, because when I have to poop, I get this really horrible back pain, this pressure towards my tailbone, and that was just all I could feel. And it was every time I'd get up and go to the bed to lay down, because after you sit on the toilet for a while, your legs go to sleep after a certain period of time. They're sore and they're achy and they're asleep. So I'd come to the bed and just lay down for a while, and it would feel like as soon as I got in the bed, I needed to go. So I'd get up, go to the bathroom, sit down, and I couldn't go. And it was just so hard for me to keep getting up and moving. I finally just grabbed a towel, bunched it up, and laid down in the bathtub, because I couldn't. And my husband came in a little while after that. I was half asleep. And he's like, honey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I can't keep making, and our bedroom is literally right next to the bathroom. And it was just too much. And do you know what I cannot explain in words enough what it feels like for someone who was active and strong for the most part, with the exception of the cyclic vomiting syndrome episodes. With the exception of that, otherwise a very strong, active, healthy person who did everything for everyone, to this, having everyone have to do everything for me. To say it's a strike to my pride is a huge understatement, but that's not even the problem. It's just the feeling of, wow, I never knew how lucky I was just to be able to get up and go to the bathroom without feeling like I'm going to just drop right then and there. I can't even explain it. And at least for me, I have the comfort and the assurance of knowing I've been through this before. And I know that after the baby's born, and once they're maybe a month or 2 old, I'll be good. I'll be a little sleep deprived, but I'll be good. My hormones will be back in balance, the bleeding will have stopped, and I'll be okay. And I'll be able to get up and do things like I used to again. That is wonderful, but then it also makes me think of, like, what about people that feel like this all of the time? Like people who have chronic fatigue syndrome, or, you know, even worse, stomach conditions than what I've got, or, they're paralyzed, or whatever the case is. Like, how does that feel? Like, how do you, every day, knowing that that condition will probably never go away, how do you deal with that? How do you not feel, how do you not allow yourself to feel like you're just a burden to everyone? Because, I mean, I've only been pregnant for 4 months now, and it's not like the people in my household make me feel like that. Like, my husband has been so sweet and so supportive and just so reassuring. But it's just like that voice inside of you that's saying, you didn't even go down there and cook your husband and your son anything for dinner. You weren't the one who brushed his teeth today. You weren't able to get up and go to work and bring in money. Like, it's almost Christmas, and you're not going to have a paycheck to go out and buy your son gifts for Christmas. Like, of course, there's people in my family that know the situation, and they're helping me out. Like, my dad's going to be sending over some money for me to go out Christmas shopping for my son. And I appreciate that so much, but it's just that ethic of, I'm his mother, and I wanted this to be, I wanted to make this Christmas really special, because it's our first Christmas together as a family. Like, my son, myself, my husband, it's our first Christmas all together, and I wanted it, and it's going to be special regardless. Like, presents don't make Christmas. It's the people that you're with. But still, it's like that whole tradition of going out, picking out a Christmas tree, and we always got fresh ones when I was growing up. So we'd go out and we'd pick out a tree, like from the garden section at Home Depot or something, and we'd bring it home and hear my dad cuss under his breath about how irritating it was trying to get it to fit in the tree stand and getting it to stand up so it wouldn't tip over, and eventually having to, like, tie a hook and a piece of string around the tree so it would, like, clutch onto the wall. Putting up all the ornaments, going out shopping for the ornaments. And people complain all the time about having to stand in long lines for Christmas shopping. I used to look forward to that as a kid. Like, that was half the fun. That was something that I enjoyed, and I loved going out, shopping for my parents, and it was just really something I wanted to do this year. And it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm not trying to make this sound like a big boo-hoo thing. Like, there's always next year. But I don't know, I'm just, like I said, like it says in the title, this is kind of a vent/rant/pregnancy update. It's just a little bit of everything. I had hoped to make these weekly, but with how things have been going and my energy levels and, and with doctor's appointments, I've got doctor's appointments coming out my ears. I've got prenatal. I've got a GI specialist finally for the CVS. He's also looking into some other things to see if it might be, like, anything to do with my thyroid or anything like that, or my gallbladder. Like I said, I went to a cardiologist today, which, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys what they said. They're going to put me on a heart monitor for a week, and they're going to see what the results of that are. They're going to do an echocardiogram on my heart, just take pictures of my heart and everything, and they're going to see from there. They said there's a medicine they can put me on, forgot what the name of it is though, that could help to regulate my heart rate, and it would be safe for the baby and all that. Honestly, do I see myself taking it during this pregnancy? Probably not, because it's like the heart rate I can deal with. It's incredibly, very uncomfortable. It's like if you were out walking for an hour, just that trying to catch your breath, but when you're doing absolutely nothing. And it can happen multiple times a day for no apparent reason at all. So it's uncomfortable, but it's not detrimental in the same way that the morning sickness and the CVS were, to where it was like preventing me from taking in proper nutrition to maintain not only my health but the baby's health. So as long as it's not life-threatening, whatever they find, if they find anything, I'm probably not going to take the medicine right now. And the doctor said that's absolutely fine. He's like, I would prefer you not, but if it's on a really bad day or something like that and you want to take it, you go ahead. It's safe for the baby. I would not prescribe it for you if it wasn't, but just to err on the side of caution, I'd rather wait. But anyway, those are the basics of what's been going on with me and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably do some other updates soon, hopefully. Even if I just do one update a trimester. You guys got the update that I was pregnant and now it's the second trimester. If I can just get one in for the third trimester, we'll be good. But, I'd love to make it more frequent. But there's also the issue that I don't have Wi-Fi at my house right now, so I don't even know where I'm going to go to upload this. But, anyway, so yeah, basic synopsis. I am 16 weeks, 2 days pregnant with baby boy number 2. And, that's about it. I mean, my appetite's a little better. I mentioned that I got down to 92 pounds, but I did not mention what my weight is as of today at the doctor's office. Now it is up to 96. So within, I'd say the last month-ish, I've gained about 3 to 4 pounds. So that is excellent. That's something for me to be very excited about. Let me see what else. What other symptoms am I noticing? Probably the fact that I'm showing faster this time. I definitely have a noticeable bump that's almost all the way up to my belly button. And the first time around, I did not get a baby bump until I was 5.5, 6 months along. So this is definitely happening faster. My boobs feel huge. I cannot comfortably fit into my old 30C size bras anymore. I had to go out and get a couple maternity bras that just, the little, the nursing bras, which I'm going to need because I'll be nursing this baby as well as I did my son. But they're wire-free and they're so comfy, but even those feel a little tight, and I just got them a few weeks ago. So there's that. TMI again, but my nipples have been driving me nuts. They have been so itchy and so sensitive. It's a good thing as far as, me and my husband's sex life, because that's, they're extra sensitive. But just throughout the day, feeling my shirt rub up against them or whatever, it drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. I haven't really noticed much of a change in my complexion. One thing I can say that I did notice, though, I had something called keratosis pilaris or something like that on the backs of my arms, and I've had it for years. But around maybe week 10, 8 to 10, I noticed it was just gone. It just left. It's just not there anymore. And basically what keratosis pilaris is, it's and a lot of people have it, it's all these tiny little bumps on the backs of your upper arms. And I never even knew that it was a condition until maybe a year ago. And there was a cream that I'd tried for it for a period of time. It was by Gold Bond Rough and Bumpy Skin Lotion or something, and it was specifically to treat KP. And it just left. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a hormonal thing, maybe, but it just left. And so I'm happy about that. My hair's been growing more, or should I say faster than usual. Strange cravings. One strange craving I notice is pretty consistent. I'm craving spicy food. I don't know what. I guess this baby loves spicy food. He must. And he gets that from his father, because my husband is yeah, and this is terrible for him because he just found out he has stomach ulcers, but he's a big spicy food person. He loves hot sauce and sriracha and all that kind of stuff, which he has had to cut from his diet. But yeah, So suffice it to say, we both got our share of stomach issues. I can only hope and pray our kids don't have all the problems with tummy troubles as we do. But yeah, this baby must love spicy food, because I've been craving these chips called Takis. They're like these little they're like rolled up tortilla chips, and they're like, what is it, chili pepper and lime or something. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Then I asked my husband to bring me home pepper jack cheese the other day, and I think I ate both of them at the same time, like the Takis and the pepper jack cheese. I don't know, spicy food just sounds so good, and that sounds so contradictory to anything that would sound good if you have issues with nausea or heartburn, but it sounds good going in. Not so good once it's sitting there, but sometimes it's okay. Definitely some issues trying to get comfortable. With my belly growing so much faster, it's like I feel like I have to like lift my stomach before I lift any other part of me to move. I think I mentioned in the first video that I was having really bad lower back pain in the first trimester. That has subsided. I still get it sometimes, but it's not anywhere near as bad as what it was, which is odd, because I would have thought that like the further along I would get, the worse it would get, but I seem to be okay. Oh, this is another important one, and of course, you know, I'm going to talk about it. Sex drive. First trimester, no sex drive, none, nothing, nada, zip, zero, zilch. Now, probably from like weeks 11 to now, I've felt better, and I had a little teeny surge of energy for like maybe a week or two, like around between 11 and 13 weeks. And my sex drive just through the roof. Now I definitely have more of a craving for it than in the first trimester, but I'm not like tackling my husband when he comes through the door. However, I will say he's kind of been in that mood with me, so, and he also was suffering with some morning sickness at first. So I don't know if like what would normally be symptoms for me are just translating over to him or what, but he's been on me like white on rice, I mean to tell you. But and that's been pleasant and everything, but you know what, I need to split this up because we're already at half an hour here. There's other issues that we had as far as sexual things go during this pregnancy, but I need to just section that off for another video because this is way too long already. But it's been so long, and I wanted to update you guys on everything and just let you know I haven't fallen off the face of the planet. I do still have every intention of uploading and getting, yet again, a better camera, since I still can't find mine. So in the meantime, you guys will be getting these kind of crummy webcam videos, but it's better than nothing, and it keeps me connected to you guys, which I love. So, you know what, if any of you are struggling with a weight gain journey or a difficult pregnancy or something that's not talked about very commonly during pregnancy is really severe morning sickness, which is called hyperemesis gravidarum. If you're suffering with that, if you're any complication of pregnancy, feel free to reach out, like comment down below, send me a personal message, connect with me on Instagram. Let's start a little community about this, because I know I'm not the only person going through this. I know I'm not the only person feeling like this. And, I would just love to hear some of you guys' stories, and we can just support each other and let each other know, this is not the end. We are not, this is not forever. This is 9 months. It's not a life sentence. But, anyway, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I do, again, apologize for this very lengthy, talky video. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.